Hey friends, I got three podcasts I'm doing for you today. This is the first of the three. Is this one entails a lot about James Comey. It's very in depth. If you don't know a lot about James Comey and the whole fiasco and lies and corruption that he is a part of, and it is written by Serial Brain 2 off the Great Awakening subreddit. This guy posts phenomenal information. Very smart guy. He's probably tied to some people we just don't know. A lot of good intel. But before we get into this, if you would do me a good favor and please click that thumbs up button if you appreciate this video and enjoy it. And also, if you're a new subscriber, please click that blue bell to get notifications because I have been shadow banned. That's all I wanted to tell you. So let's get that out of the way and let's jump into this. This is true reporting. So it says here, did you watch James Comey's latest book tour interviews with Anderson Cooper on CNN and Bright Bear on Fox? Amazing stuff. Let's start with Anderson Cooper from 6:45 to 9:25.
For them. But as somebody who has the authority to classify documents, you know that stuff is sometimes retroactively classified. And I believe one of the documents was retroactively classified, lowest level classification, wasn't it?
Sure.
So if you're releasing memos which may later on be classified, which happened to Hillary Clinton as well, aren't you taking a risk that you think you know, oh, this is not going to be classified, but it turns out one of them was retroactive?
I don't think of it as a risk. You're making an educated judgment based on your training and your experience as to what's classified and what's not.
So, but you did leak memos. I mean, is it okay for somebody at the FBI to leak something, an internal document, even if it's not classified? Isn't that leaking?
Well, there's a whole lot wrong with your question, Anderson. First, I didn't leak memos. I asked a friend to communicate the substance of one unclassified memo.
Whether you...
Can I finish for a second?
Sure, okay.
One unclassified memo to the media, and I was really important. I was a private citizen. I was not an FBI employee at that time.
But it was an internal document. It was a document you had written while you were FBI director. That is a leak. I mean, if you tell somebody, don't give them the document, but tell them what's in the document, that's still a leak, no?
Well, not to get tangled up in it, I think of a leak as an unauthorized disclosure of classified information.
Really? That's it?
That's how I thought about it as FBI director. We investigated leaks, so unauthorized disclosures.
In your memo, when you said that when the president said he was eager to find leakers and would like to nail one to the door as a message,
I said that.
Shouldn't you be nailed to the door then? I mean, aren't you a leaker? Aren't you a leaker? I mean, you gave up a document that was released to the New York Times. Information from that document released to the New York Times. I know you say it's not classified, but plenty of people leak non-classified information, reporters, and the White House and the FBI gets upset about it.
The FBI gets upset when people make unauthorized disclosures of protected information. There was nothing protected about this. It wasn't classified. It wasn't privileged.
So when you were FBI
director, it's also in my book.
So when you were FBI director, if somebody on your team had given a friend documents that they were writing that you were involved with and said, oh, you could just tell the New York Times what's in this document, you wouldn't have had a problem with that?
Well, depending on what was in the document.
But even if it's not
was it protected information? Was it investigative information? Was it classified information? Was it grand jury information?
So I guess I'm surprised that you only think leaks, officially a leak is something that's classified.
Yeah, the reason I hesitate is that's how I think about it as a lawyer and as the director of the FBI. In practice, the term gets applied to a broad range of things, so I totally get it. I intentionally gave this information to a friend, intending that it be out in the media. I wanted it to get out in the media.
Right.
As a private citizen, I could do that and did that, just as I've written about it in my book.
All right. The next question comes from Victoria Lopez. Victoria is she's a senior studying history. And by the way, I should also point out, you're going to be co-teaching a course here at William and Mary in the fall.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Victoria?
Good evening. With the recent release of your memos, do you still think that you are suitable to teach a course on ethics and leadership, and why?
I do, for the reasons I said. I mean, the facts really matter, and I believe that I acted appropriately, and I handled the memos appropriately, created...
So yeah, there you go. I find it extremely humorous how much he backtracks, and the fact that a CIA, CIA spy like Anderson Cooper is interviewing this guy. So I don't know. It looked like Anderson was going at him, but you can't trust anything. So we'll continue on. Cooper begins by rightly reminding Comey that by disclosing government material, even if it is unclassified, he is exposing himself to the risk of retroactive classification. Comey makes his first major mistake, in quote, "You are making an educated judgment based on your training and your experience as to what's classified and what's not." This is Comey attacking Anderson Cooper on his past. He is subtly reminding people Cooper is a CIA Mockingbird asset. Cooper reads the attack, recovers from Comey's under-the-belt uppercut, and decides to get rid of the gloves. It's going to get bloody. Cooper, you did leak memos. Now, Cooper is not going around the bush anymore. He is telling it like it is. The cameraman is skilled. He knows this is a turning point of the interview. He gives us a very telling shot at Comey at 7:17. We can read his brain is now going through many unanswered questions about this interview. Cooper, is it okay for someone at the FBI to leak something, an internal document, even if it is not classified? Isn't that leaking? Comey, there is a whole lot of wrong in your question, Anderson. Comey says this, pointing his finger at Cooper. He is trying to intimidate Cooper. You'd better be careful now. You're going off script, and I've had enough of this, indicating with the pointing of the finger. Then he goes on to start a lengthy explanation, but Cooper interrupts him and smiles to show him he does not give a single nugget about his veiled threat. Then Comey makes his second major mistake. Now that he is second-guessing Cooper, he knows he has to get the audience back on board. He bluntly throws at us the peasants who do not speak legalese. A leak is an unauthorized disclosure of classified information. Wait, what? Round of applause, people. Congratulations, Comey. The law is now what Comey says it is. Your Majesty, Comey has his own definitions, gathered from a fortune cookie. Leaks are not leaks, and between grossly negligent and extremely careless, we can make elastic space for an election to win. By the way, do you know what is? Cooper's answer to Comey out of this world definition of leak is epic. He throws a short but deadly, really? That's it? My goodness, this is turning into carnage. Comey tries to recover by reminding him he used to investigate leaks, so he must know. Wow. Have you ever seen a boxer trying to wipe away the blood on a wound and ending up messing up his whole face? At 7:59, Comey looks down nervously. This is him thinking, Cooper betrayed me. I thought he was on our side. This is not what Clapper told me. Pompeo probably turned him. I should have refused his invitation. Damn. Cooper knows Comey is now agonizing. He finishes him with a fatal combination. In quote, shouldn't you be nailed to the door? I mean, aren't you a leaker? Priceless. At 8:19, the cameraman proves he really is on this. He knows what is going on. He zooms on Comey and shows his despair and how he is realizing he just got ambushed. Cooper puts the last nail in the coffin with a nonchalant, I am surprised that you think a leak is officially only something that is classified. The former director of the FBI now has to pick up the slowly rolling ball with a broken back, and not as a professional player, but as a little ball boy who just got hired. The next day, it's Bright Bayer's turn on Fox Video. Here, in addition to Comey redefining leaking too, he learned he did not know who funded the Steele dossier. He used it to get a FISA, mentioned it in a meeting with the president, but did not even know the details about its origin. So Comey, pick a card. Either you are lying to us or you should have never been director of the FBI in the first place. Now let's go back to Cooper and see what Comey has to say about the deep state. I'm just going to read the quotes. There's no deep state, but there is a deep culture. This is very interesting. Do you know what Comey is really saying here? He is, in fact, saying the opposite of what one would say after thinking primary analysis. He is saying if you only knew, what we have is way more powerful than just having infiltrated government institutions. We have infiltrated everything. We are everywhere. We are wherever culture is. We have swallowed and digested the deep state. Do you see it? Look, image 1. A higher loyalty. Truth, lies, and leadership, James Comey. A higher loyalty. So we'll continue on. A higher loyalty. Comey is telling us his loyalty is higher than the one the president, the institutions, or even the nation can expect. Who is he loyal to? To the leader of what he calls the deep culture? What do you think the deep culture is, and who is the leader? Let's read Q10. Remember, the FBI and MI have an open investigation into this Clinton Foundation. Why did Comey drop this? Who was the FBI director during the Haiti crisis? How many kids disappeared? How much money was sent to the Clinton Foundation under disguise of Haiti relief went to Haiti? What countries donated big money to the Clinton Foundation and why? How much was owed by accepting? When she lost, how would this be repaid? What did Obama do with cash just prior to leaving office? Repayment to those who donated for favor, access, dig again. Good people were forced into bed with this evil under personal and family threats. Could you live with yourself helping to cover up such evil, despicable acts if given a safe way out? These people worship Satan. Some openly show it. This is intense stuff. Okay, so we'll go down here. It says, Q3, many in our government worship Satan. Now know this. In their language, culture means cult. Art means ritual. Wasn't the first form of art the making of idols? Research Terah, Abraham's father. Now it's time to rewatch this. The Q10 is Q telling us people were offered a way out. Some, like Mueller and Rosenstein, took it. Let's think logically. If Comey dropped the investigation into the Clinton Foundation and Mueller was the FBI director when Haiti happened, it means Mueller launched the Clinton Foundation investigation. This is what Q means here. In quote, good people were forced into bed with this evil under personal and family threats. Comey was also offered a way out. Link. Let's see what he was offered to get out of this. CBS News. Trump isn't firing James Comey as FBI director yet. CBS Pat Milton confirms that President Trump has asked Comey to stay and to remain in his job as FBI director. Comey has a 10-year term that extends for another 6 years. So, in essence, Mr. Trump has just decided not to fire Comey.
Legendary jockey Victor Espinoza is insatiable when it comes to competing.
Sorry. But Mr. Trump will likely have to revisit Comey's job status in about a year. Okay. So let's go back here. And it says, but he did not take it. He had a higher loyalty. You now know the difference between those who believe in the show and run it and those who try to stay alive. Q675, build timeline. Antone Scalia, 187. HRC investigation, pivot points, image 3. If you can bear more, let's read into Q645. Q's interpretation of Comey's tweet when McCabe stepped down. Okay, so this is Comey's tweet when McCabe stepped down. Special Agent Andrew McCabe stood tall over the last 8 months when small people were trying to tear down an institution we all depend on. He served with distinction for 2 decades. I wish Andy well. I also wish continued strength for the rest of the FBI. America needs you. Do you see this activated sleeper cells? This is the armed wing of the deep state culture Comey is talking about. It's everywhere from ISIS to your next door neighbor. And Q is telling us it can be activated for what? False flags and ritualistic sacrifices. Look at the timestamp on Comey's tweet, 5:09. The Parkland, Florida shooting happened 2 weeks later on February 14th. 5 plus 9. Coincidence? Q knows better. On February 14th, 2018, the day of the Florida shooting, he posted this, Q759. Where are the tweets from HRC, BC, CC, Hussein, others? Reread. The shooting today? Do you believe in evil? Make no mistake, they will all pay the price. Q. So, there's a lot going on here. I think this is very dipping in very deep into the deep state and the whole satanic culture, and these people are sick, right? So if you enjoyed that, I know it was short, but if you enjoyed that, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'm going to put out 2 more podcasts, and we'll go from there. So I will see you guys after a while. All right.